It is 7 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. We're going to go ahead and start with a roll call. We're just going to have you guys kind of state that you are present, and we'll start over there with Councilwoman.
Karen Labby, present.
Gina Hutter, present.
Sue Metzel, present.
Jonah Pichette, present.
Michael Walton, present.
Patrick Jeffers, present.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. And we are going to move the agenda around a little bit, if that is okay with all the members here. We're going to move the swearing in of new members. We need to swear in Shantanu. We will move that down until he is available and present at the meeting. I imagine that would be sometime after, our report or audience participation. But I would like to give him grace and flexibility on that.
Absolutely.
So we will then kind of move into the approval of the minutes. Are there any changes that need to be made to the April 2nd minutes? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The minutes have been approved as submitted. That was seconded by Gina. We then move on to presentations. I don't believe we have any presentations. And so we'll skip into audience participation. Mitch, did you want to speak today?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit? Perfect. Come on up. Just make sure you state your name for the record.
Yep, Mitchell Edgecombe, 57 Chelmsford Drive.
Perfect.
Yeah, so there's other things that I can get into. I want to try and work with local businesses about bag waste reduction and education. And I think an important way to do that is setting up like a task force, which doesn't have to be official. It can just be a couple people that can go around and communicate with businesses and put some information forward with them to try and, get them to reduce waste or, put in some kind of incentives to do so, or just really just communicating with businesses on why an issue is important and if they're interested in doing anything about it, because I think that's the best step to take right now, other than just, cycling through like previously, actually going out and being hands-on with stuff, And one more thing, that's all, is I did some more research on New Jersey's bag situation, like Mr. Wallen put forward, and the article I found that went around based the news cycle, which was stating that reusable bags, by banning single-use plastic bags and paper bags, New Jersey's plastic use in bags increased twofold after the ban was passed for over a 6-month period. And I did some more information or research on that specific study, and I linked it back to Freedonia, which is in turn funded by the American Plastic Recyclable Bags Association, something along the lines of that, which is actually a company which is known for lobbying in favor of the plastic industry and is in turn funded by corporations such as ExxonMobil and Shell and others like that. And of course I had to check the validity because, that on its own isn't off-putting. So 6 months later, there was a news article that was published by a couple other news stations. I believe it was 6 months after this article was published, because this was in 2022, that did a deep dive on that specific study, and they found that it was not peer-reviewed, and they don't actually know where they got that information in surveying consumers, which found that bag waste had increased. They don't actually know where they got that data. They don't know who was questioned specifically. I suggest you look into it. I'll send a link to all of you once I get home about that specific news article. And I believe a professor emeritus, I don't know what that is, a professor in Maine had reviewed it, and he said it was a poor piece of misinformation. So it's always good to be mindful of what you're looking at, double check, triple check all your information. And obviously there's some truth to New Jersey's bag ban because of the flaws of it, because of the delivery services exemption, which we already went over. But, it's just worthy to be mindful, because I already did some more research on bans in cities like Oakland, and they saw positive effects, like a 40% reduction in plastic use as a whole in San Jose, for example. So there's a lot to get into with that, but the benefits have already been known and they're published, which is why over 500 cities and towns in the entire country and several states have banned plastic bags, because the benefits are known of getting rid of them already, which, there's a lot more sentiment in favor of and data backing than opposing. So that's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mitch, for the follow-up. Here's a question. Did the science teacher provide the bags on,
She was unable to. A project at her school involving, her students had taken priority
Okay.
with that, and so she was unable to at the time.
okay, just curious.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't see any other audience participation, so we will move on to our commissioner reports. Michael, we'll go ahead and we'll start with you.
No report tonight.
No report tonight. Fantastic. Gina, we'll bounce it over to you.
No report.
No report. That's fantastic. Sue, we'll bounce it to you.
Okay, I'll have a little, just something to say, make him happy. I heard on the news, I don't know if you did, but Giant Eagle is going to start passing out reusable bags, cloth bags for free. They're hoping customers will use them again each time they shop. Now, I didn't hear a date, but Giant Eagle, that's, big chain, going to be. Yes, so everybody go there and get your cloth bags. Yay, no plastic. Yeah, they're going to, that's what I heard.
Giant Eagle
Liz.
also, last year, they actually started announcing they were gonna phase out plastic bags too, which
Yeah.
is also good news. from
Yeah,
Giant Eagle.
so anyway, that's pretty much where I shop anyway, so I'm happy,
Did they have a date for that?
No, I did not hear the date. I might have come in on it when it was just, I missed the date part, but,
The article I
Nicer.
read did not have a date, but it also said that it was Cuyahoga County they were going to be passing
Oh, was
them
it?
out. So
I
I don't know
yes,
if
I didn't hear- yeah, I
if
didn't hear
it's
that
will
either, but I
just be
heard
limited to
Giant
Cuyahoga County Giant Eagles or
Because of
not,
their
but-
restrictions?
Yeah, and
Let's hope it extends over here to Summit County. And the only other thing I have was, if anybody's interested in planting any trees, this is a wonderful book. It tells all about pruning and planting, and also, I can't plant, in a condo, so if you order any trees also, anybody can have this, you get a free red maple tree, 2 to 4 feet. So if anybody wants this, just cross off my name and address and send in for it.
Love it.
You would love it?
Yes,
Okay, it's
please.
all yours. Here you go. I'll just put it all back in here.
Thanks.
And that's really all I had.
Very cool.
Good stuff.
Fantastic.
Can I interrupt and say, I think
Yeah.
Virginia, she's the master gardener, right?
She is, yes.
And I think they are having that flower sale.
It's
at the
over.
That was
Oh,
last
it was
week.
last weekend.
Yes.
I thought it was Mother's Day. I don't know why I
Well,
thought that.
no, it's, yeah,
Okay.
they just have it.
Traditionally, it is the
Before Mother's
Saturday
Day,
before Mother's
right.
Day.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, it was last week.
That was a good point, though.
Yeah.
I see what you're trying to do,
Yeah.
Gina.
Yeah.
I'm
Trying
sure
to
she
get in there.
appreciate
Cover
it, too.
for her. Yeah,
Well,
she would
no,
appreciate that.
not much help there, huh?
Well, I mean, but, you
I'll be
know.
better next year.
No problem.
Shantanu, welcome. Thank you for getting here.
Just sorry, I took that dentist appointment. They told me I'll be done in 45.
You are all good.
Is that
Sorry.
Dr. Taylor? In the
Not
screen?
gonna say anything.
I'm not saying to slam him, I'm just questioning.
Did we want to pause commissioner
Yes.
reports so we could get Shantanu just sworn in right
Yes.
away?
Would you like
Thank you.
that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Do you by any chance have your sheet?
I actually don't. I thought I would have a chance to go home.
Okay.
We're all good.
And then, do you have one in your bag?
I might have a tiny one. There's a slim chance I kept one, but it is unlikely in here.
Look in my folder.
This is
See if I
council
can-
agendas and reports and our agendas and all of that. And I do not think I have one in here.
See if I can,
Can I ask a question?
Go for it, Sue.
Just real quick. Whatever happened to Sandra Baines? Did she fade out or move or quit or what?
Sandra Baines did not seek reappointment on the Environmental Commission, and why or where she is
Nobody
I have
knew?
no idea as to why she
Okay.
made those personal choices.
Okay. Just not important, but I wanted to just know. I don't have it either.
The one time I forget.
You are all okay. If you give me one moment, I will. I could not find the oath in our codified ordinances and/or charter from a quick search. I know sometimes they're placed in there word for word.
Right.
Could not find it in there at this time.
But we're not voting on anything tonight, correct?
Potentially.
Potentially?
In
Okay.
unfinished business with the bag ban proposal. But at this time, we have a couple of items to go before then.
Let me keep looking.
Yes, of course. So while we're looking, Shantanu, we're gonna, did you happen to have a report by chance? I know you're not officially sworn in, but.
The HSW season has started. Reworks, open Monday to Friday, 8 to 4:30, and then Cuyahoga Solid Waste District. If you want to travel that far for HSW Waste, that's the biggest one. There were a couple things, other things I was working on, but I don't have any progress on it, so until I have a progress, I'll let you know, so.
Oh, of course. And then with my report, as you know, we have Councilwoman Lobby looking for the oath of office. We could get Shantanu sworn in really quick. I just wanted to talk about a couple items. The first being Earth Day. Thank you to John, who is not present, Virginia, who is not present, Shantanu for attending Earth Day. To the other commissioners, it was a great event. I know, you all wanted to be there. I know just, things happen. We're all very busy with life and such, but it was really a great event. What I wanted to do, though, and I was hoping, we could have some input and feedback, is discuss how we could make the event a little better and more meaningful and impactful for future years. I informally talked with some residents, some, individuals who are attending, and I believe that we could really crisp up the event, make it a little more seamless, rather than just doing what we've done because we've always done it. And I think there's now an opportunity to add to the event, really add emphasis to what we do here in the city and on behalf of the commission. And so I don't know, if any of you had any input or feedback right away.
So one of the things my wife said that, hey, you guys need to advertise more. She said she did not see anything about it because she's pretty active involved on that, on Facebook Roundtable, and what's the other one? With two of those things for Twinsburg, and she said she didn't see it till I was already at the event, and she says you gotta advertise them more. So that was her suggestion. It's like, hey, you guys gotta get more, I said, okay, that's good feedback for us. But yeah, I liked the event. It was a great event.
Okay.
So,
advertise more?
yep.
How about give away little somethings? I don't know, not, the library gives free seeds, I think, but like a giveaway of something that would make people, want to attend because they want one, or whatever it would be.
Okay.
Some kind of.
So something to draw people, and that's a good point, Sue, yeah. We gave away small prizes for, some of the activities and stations, but nothing advertised to draw people in. So that really would be a good point. What about event time? It's a 4-hour event from, 10 to 2 p.m. Do we think that's too long on a Saturday for an Earth Day event?
I would say so, like a couple hours. If you do, 2 hours. But,
Maybe
yeah.
2 to 3?
Yeah, because then people, just can come, and it's not too long, and
Yeah, it's difficult for people to commit to 4 hours on a Saturday.
And I know that at the high school, Miss Kurt, who volunteered her time, brought students, she had a hard time finding volunteers this year for 4 hours on a Saturday. Even though Twinsburg requires all their graduates to have, 10 service hours a year, she was having a hard time finding volunteers this year for a full 4-hour block. Towards the end, we slowed down. About 1:30, we saw nobody until 2. And, you and I, Shantanu, had stuck around till the end just in case. But we began kind of wondering, would a shorter event, a much more condensed event, be beneficial? Would allow everybody to be there and, help out with volunteers and really provide an avenue for participation for those who really want to make it. And so I just wanted to see your feedback. Obviously, we have another year before
Yeah.
the next event, but it's always good to reflect when we're there, when we're able.
Yeah, and I know that the lady from the art, what is it, the art department at the schools is doing projects and everything, but it's like, unless you tell the parents what the kids are gonna be making or doing, like the library pretty much does, I think they don't really think it's that vital to attend. But if we could make it more interesting to the parents, they're the ones that bring the children, so perhaps that, if we came up with some ideas to draw people in, because you want the kids there, because that's what it's all about, getting the
Right.
next generation to do recycling and saving the
Maybe getting advertisement at the school, in the elementaries, that could help. I don't know if they do, they do weekly updates, I think in the, more likely in the elementary grade rooms. Like the teachers send stuff home, or maybe we could have like a coloring contest, and they could see if they won beforehand.
Okay.
Post it in that.
Yeah, I just thought of something too. You could, if we could figure out some kind of a sticker book, and then they could start it at school, but then they have to go to this event to get the rest of the stickers or something,
Okay.
Yeah, that would appeal to the younger children.
Like a stamp,
Kids.
like you got a
Or a
stamp, like a
stamp.
passport
Yeah, like that.
activity.
Like the parks
Like
do.
you
Yeah.
went to the park, you went
Yeah.
to the library, you did something at school, something like that.
Sure, that'd be great. Something to just encourage them,
Maybe Dairy Queen can give a free cone or something like that. like,
Handles or something,
Something really
yeah.
small, like the kitty cone.
Right.
Yeah, that's a
As
good
like the
idea.
prize. If you have your sticker book full, Handles is offering one night for this many hours.
Yeah. Or a
We
little
have
pizza
plenty
or
of
something.
community partners that I'm
Yeah.
sure would be
Yeah.
willing to help out.
Right.
so-
And that could be the prize, then we don't have to handle it.
Right. And
Like buy it in
yeah,
advance, kind
yeah.
of.
Could be ice cream, could be a little Pizza Hut little, or something.
That's a great idea. See, this is why I wanted to discuss it, because you guys have all the ideas,
Oh.
and this is what makes this commission fantastic, because you all have great ideas that help make our events so fantastic. Was there anything else on that? I really just wanted to have a brief conversation about the Earth Day event. It really was fantastic this year. It was better weather. It was still cold, but it was better weather. It wasn't downpouring the entire time. It was windy, so
Oh,
we did have to
cold.
wear our coats.
It was
but
cold.
we had a pretty good turnout.
Yes.
And I was really happy with the, people who came, who visited, with the volunteers from the school. I'm really grateful and eternally grateful for Mrs. Kurt at the high school, her students, and actually the Drive Electric Northeast Ohio group. They were kind of a last minute, addendum and addition to the group. They came, brought a bunch of electric vehicles. We reserved some space in the parking lot to have them, park their electric cars and discuss with people walking the park or walking into the park, electric vehicles and the alternative, to gas vehicles. And so I appreciated them being there for the entirety of the time. And so it was really, really a nice thing, and a nice day overall. I wanted to kind of talk about the Earth Day just very briefly, make a note. We had our first Earth Day event. It wasn't ours. It was the Parks and Recs Department, the Friends of Twinsburg Park, and the Parks Commission. We were invited to kind of attend. I was there. Shantanu kind of met me there halfway through, and it was a really nice event. There were plenty of people, probably 100, 150 that came through the entirety of it. You had the fire department there, the police department was there, so kids got to look at the fire trucks and things like that. And it was really
That's what I was.
fantastic for everybody. And so the Arbor Day event, I'm really excited to hopefully see it, continue on in tradition with the city of
Did
Twinsburg.
they plant any trees?
They planted
Oh,
3
yes.
trees.
Yay, because I
It's-
wanted us to if all this wouldn't have happened, I wanted to inspire us to bring a tree to plant.
They planted
And
3
yeah.
trees.
Okay, okay.
Remembering that, it was pretty.
Look at you,
And so,
really close.
Councilwoman Lobby, are we good now? Perfect, I stalled long enough, and not that I was stalling, those were very important updates, but
Yeah, they
I was
were.
trying to talk through.
Yeah.
We'll have you sign later.
Okay.
Unless you want to just sign this for now and, but we'll get the official stuff done
Okay.
later. But if you want to stand up.
Here.
So we'll move now for the people taking minutes and people watching. We're now going to move back into swearing in as we had a pause to get the oath.
I, and state your name,
I, Shantanu Body,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will support and defend
I will support and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio,
of the State of Ohio,
the Charter, ordinances, and resolutions
Charter, ordinances, and resolutions
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
and will faithfully,
and will faithfully,
honestly, and impartially
honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as a member of the Environmental Commission
as a member of the Environmental Commission
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
as I shall answer to God.
I shall answer to God.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations, you're sworn in again. Oh, what a fun meeting. I apologize to those watching and those taking minutes. I very much am sorry for the shuffle around.
Thank you for doing that for me.
That was all Pat and the councilwoman, so,
Pat.
you know, the
Thank
thanks
you.
goes to them. But I just have two little brief, updates here. Additional to that, our shred day is finally, June 8th. It has been moved back to June 8th. It is not June 1st. It is now June 8th for the shred day, 9 a.m. to noon. And it is at the Public Works Department, Service Center garage. You can bring up to 6 boxes. Please don't bring pre-shredded material. Please don't bring anything but, important documents that need to be shredded. So think bank statements, legal documents that are, able to be shredded. And so you could bring up to 6 boxes worth for Twinsburg residents. And I'm hoping we have, a good turnout for that again this year on June 8th. And that date should be set for sure now. Yes? Okay. So June 8th now for sure. And then our wastewater treatment plant tour is August 7th, 9 a.m. I remind us of that because we as a commission will not meet until September. I'll send a reminder email to the commissioners. But at August 7th, 9 a.m., we will be meeting at the wastewater treatment plant. And I really hope you could all attend, especially if you haven't before.
Okay, is that the same, I'm sorry, is that the same JIR that we did do last year?
Yes, with Nate and the wastewater plant, yes, it is.
Okay.
And so if you've gone, you don't have to go again, there'll be nothing
Yes.
new.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going again because it was a very informational
Mhm.
tour. I believe they do a fantastic job, and I want to make sure,
Yes.
they've updated quite a bit, over the past year, and I want to be able to see what they're doing, how they're benefiting the city. But by no means, nothing crazy has changed. So
Can you talk about the recycling event, how that was, what you learned?
so I did not tour the
Oh, you
waste,
didn't
the
go.
Oakwood
Did
Recycling
anybody-
Center.
Did anybody go?
I don't believe anybody present, aside from Pat, had toured the Waste Management Recycling Center.
I was
So,
just curious about it.
Pat, if you wanted to go ahead and talk on that.
Yeah, if you want a little update, it was very, very interesting to see. It's a newer facility. They are able to process a lot of material there. I believe they said that they went from, I want to say like 20-some employees that were doing manual sorting of material there, down to about 6 employees that are actually doing manual sorting. They have hired more people in terms of maintenance for the machines and whatnot. So it's kind of a shift of jobs. And they were able to keep on anybody that wanted to stay on. They were able to train them to do the work with the maintenance on the machines there. They process an incredible amount of material there. Some of the big items that they mentioned while we were there that we need to try and keep out of our recyclables is the clamshell plastic containers like you'd get berries in. They said that plastic is a low-grade material that's probably already been several other things in its lifetime, and it's at the point where they're not able to recycle those. Any kind of plastic films or bags need to be kept out of there. Batteries, they did have a lithium battery go through there once that had a little explosion in there and took
Wow.
out some of their equipment that they were down for a while due to having to repair the damage from that. But I think those were the majority of the things. Anything smaller than 2 inches by 2 inches also just kind of falls through their screens and wouldn't be collected in the material. So that's part of the reason why they want you to have bottle caps on the bottles when you send them for the recycling, so that those bottle caps can be collected and not fall through the material. No food and liquids in the material. Their cardboard that they send out, if it has a certain amount of moisture in the pallet that they send out, then the company that takes those rejects the whole truckload of material that they send them. So one bale with too much moisture in it will result in a lot of material getting rejected. So they try and keep a lot of moisture out of the material. But it's great to see, and they certainly do a lot of great work over there.
Did they have robotic sorting?
They did. They had some robotic sorting. They had a lot of interesting things that they were able to do with as it goes down the conveyor belt. I think it was aluminum cans. They had some kind of charge
it's
where the
eddy
aluminum kind of flies up off of the material at a different rate than the other stuff that falls off.
Eddy current.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see.
I just threw out a strawberry thing today.
Yeah. I
did not know
had been
that.
recycling those at home up until going on the tour. They
Wow.
said to try and keep those out.
Somebody ought to put something in the,
Right. I was talking
Yeah.
at the Arbor Day, event with Shantanu about building a little pamphlet
Yeah.
for our commission.
because the styrofoam, I always had to think about those. I know they don't go, but, you can't put those in, and I'm sure they get those in there too. Now, what about those paper egg cartons? Aldi's, can you?
I believe those are recyclable. They didn't specifically say anything about them when they are on the tour and when we were on the tour, but I'm pretty sure that
Yeah,
those are
that's
recyclable.
cardboard, so that can go under OCC.
And then the pill bottles like this, you said 2 inch,
Yeah, those will fall through.
Yeah, anything
Because the-
small.
The lid and everything, you don't put pill bottles in there, even though they have that number on the bottom that says they're recyclable?
It'll fall through.
You could probably put them in, but they said pretty much anything less than a 2 inch by 2 inch square will often, most of the time, fall through the sorting material.
Yeah, it goes through a trommel screen, so it just,
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. And that was really all for my report. Is there any other? report
yeah,
that
I
we
just
needed
wanted
add
to,
or-
correct myself. The reworks, I wanted to make sure I was correctly saying that. May 8th and 10th, from 2 PM to 6 PM, is when it's a recycling day. It's not HHW. And recycling is like they will accept, 2 televisions per vehicle. You got to register laptops, cell phones, string lights, glass bottles, cooking oil, up to 15 gallons. Styrofoam is, you were talking about campaign signs, so that they will, glass jars and bottles. And so the HSW starts on June 6th, so that was, I just wanted to correct my
Is
mistake.
that the one in Cuyahoga Falls?
It reworks, I'm sorry, it reworks. This is at Stowe,
Graham Road, correct?
1201 Graham Road, Stowe. So,
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so with that, we will now move on to our council report. Councilwoman Lobby, do you have anything for us?
I do not.
That is A-okay. Pat, did you have anything for us?
No, you got the date changes that I've given you, so I believe we're all good.
Perfect, thank you. Then we move into unfinished business, new business, miscellaneous. Unfinished business-wise, we have our tabled Twinsburg shopping bag waste reduction proposal. This has been tabled, for the past couple months as we have been, continuing to have discussions over it as a commission and/or seeking feedback from residents on their thoughts, formally and informally on this matter. And so, we were lucky to have Mitch come in today and speak a little bit about it as well. But I wanted to open the floor for commissioners, if you had any discussion on the shopping bag waste production proposal, now would be your time as commissioners to speak on the matter.
I wanted to make sure, this Shantanu, and I wanted to make sure that, I really appreciate you coming out here, and I don't want to curb your enthusiasm. And one of the things, I just want to be practical, like, I'm all for it, but the problem is you got to look at the landscape of where we're at. And, you got to take a look at how businesses are going to be affected, and we need to put it to, like Summit County or, to them to kind of put that out there. Because, I look at small businesses and I don't want to go out of business, because I've seen people who will go to different cities and stuff because if they don't get, like just behind a shopping bag. I saw that even on Oregon and, Washington, when I was out there, some people were pretty dead set against it. So I will propose, in my opinion, to, defer this to Summit County, so.
Perfect. Is there any other comments from commissioners?
No, I actually, I think Shanti brought up a good point. I feel the same way. I mean, looking at the proposal, the way it's written, one of the things is it specifically, I guess the best way I can put it is, I understand the spirit of it, but it seems very restrictive. The only allowable bags that are on the proposal are specifically jute bags, so no paper, no cloth, none of the bags that are available, even the ones that, I think the ones that John Eagle in Cuyahoga County would be giving away would not be allowed. And then it boils down to the fact that, as you mentioned, for this to really have teeth and to be effective and do things, it's going to have to be done on a larger scale than what this commission can provide and what the city can provide, because I guess the short version of it is I would concur with you. I think this is something that really should be handled at the county level, Summit County, because for it to be done, it's going to have to be regulated, and businesses that do it are going to have to be rewarded. Businesses that don't do it are going to have to be fined, and we as a commission don't have the power to do that. It would be cost prohibitive and time consuming for the city to be able to do that. And then, like you said, if it gets too draconian on just the city, people will know. I mean, you can drive 5 minutes and be outside of Twinsburg.
Yeah.
So I think while in the spirit of the proposal, I can see the benefit of it. I just think that this is a larger issue than we as a commission or we as a city are equipped to handle. So my recommendation would be that this, would be to defer to council and suggest that this would be something that they could present to Summit County to be handled at a county level.
Any other comments?
I agree.
I would agree with that. I am encouraged that Giant Eagle, though, is kind of taking the bull by the horns in Cuyahoga County and doing it that way, and hopefully that will trickle down to Summit County, and then they'll do it for us,
Absolutely.
lead the charge from there.
No, I talked with residents, informally at our Earth Day event, at the Arbor Day event, and I asked them their thoughts on, this bag waste reduction proposal. Again, I have to know where I'm at, the time and place. We're at an Earth Day event, at an Arbor Day event, and so you have to understand the setting, but not everybody was in favor of it, even at those events. And I did hear that some people would just be willing to go to Solon or other neighboring cities if this was just implemented citywide. And when we look at the city of Twinsburg, we are a city of 20,000 individuals. We have a small city staff. And something like this, I don't think is in the best nature for the city of Twinsburg when we're really looking at the purpose of the Environmental Commission, which is to keep Twinsburg naturally beautiful. I believe the county, right, of Summit has the broader application and the broader power to handle something of this matter and this gravity, while also being able to manage the nuances of the state level government and their requirements on, laws as such, or requirements as such compared to a city. And so I concur kind of with Shantanu and Michael that this is something we should, recommend council encourage, and push to Summit County. If
I'm
there's
not
no-
sure, so the council is like a legislative body, votes on legislation for
A
here.
resolution.
Yeah, yeah. So, so to get it to Summit County, I'm not sure, like, what the process would be for that.
I assume it'd be a resolution
A
from
re,
council.
yeah, but a resolution for who to do what? Like just a recommendation from council to Summit County?
Yes, I imagine so. I mean,
Yeah.
Because
I'm not
resolutions speak on, issues of council. They could authorize purchases, but they could also speak on,
Right, but I'm not sure if they can offer it up on the county level. I don't know.
right.
We'll have to look into that, yeah.
That's not a guarantee either, but we
Right.
can't legislate as a commission.
Right,
So I want to make sure that council is, this was sent to us by council to, handle. And, I think our consensus is that it should fall to the county level.
So, okay.
So I think that is where we're at. Am I wrong in that consensus?
No.
No? Okay. Is there any further discussion on it then? All right. Do we need, and I'm going to ask you, Councilwoman, do we need to formalize a motion to officially move this back to you guys, this business back to you, or?
I'm not sure. I would say yes, just to do a vote.
Okay.
Do a vote that is your, because the proposal was put down to you.
Right.
Here when he-
So do a vote that you'll, just make sure everyone votes and agrees that,
This is where we stand.
Exactly.
Perfect, okay. So with that being said, I would move that we as a commission formally recommend the city council encourage the Summit County Council to investigate the successes, or Summit County government to investigate the successes or failures of other plastic bag bans and implement if necessary.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Michael. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it, that motion is adopted. That work? And I can just
yes,
send
and you
that.
can send that to me.
Perfect, I
yeah.
will send that as it
Just- yeah.
as worded to you. Okay. Is there any other miscellaneous business for our commissioners, for the councilwoman, for Pat? Anybody have any miscellaneous business, any discussion points they need to add or would like to add? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Yeah, especially speak now since you're not meeting again until September. Do you have any thoughts of, from the summer months? Anything going on that you'd like to see go on, or? No?
Well, should we do something with Twins Day? I don't know if that would be the right place, or should we do something in the summer?
Twins Days, unless you have like a bag collection place or something, I think Twins Days, because I'm on the Twins Days Commission also, they just want to have things for twins. I mean, it's really, it's very
It's what it's all about, I
It's
know.
very
Yeah.
focused, yeah.
Although I would hope that they would have a few more things for people that bring kids. Because I've heard a lot of things that there's not much to do since they don't have the rides anymore,
Right.
which is totally not on the subject.
I believe that's out of our
Okay,
purview.
I'm just,
Yeah,
I'm
that's up
just-
to the
the
Twins
Twins
Days,
Committee, okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
I think pursuing more advertising and more publicity is something that could be on the forefront of what we're doing, because there are so many great things over the summer. Rock the Park, that would be a cool place to have a little table and pass out something, or a sign, or some, that's a good place to get information out to a really wide swath of the community. The pool, I mean, just all the neat things in the summer. It might be something we kind of look at a little bit more this season.
If it makes it easier or more difficult, there are only going to be 3 Rock the Park concerts this year.
Right.
Yeah.
In construction.
It's
Well, plus
The
we're not going to
three
meet after
best
today
ones,
unless we
right?
have
Yeah,
a special meeting.
they are, they do.
Yeah, there's
stuff.
no meetings.
I'm just suggesting that maybe that be something we kind of look at as a council, because I think getting the word out is part of what we're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great idea.
On the board, on the
I didn't
Twinsburg
know
board
if
or
you know
circle
that,
or-
we are able to put flyers into sewer bills. So, I mean, that's something that if we needed a mass communication, that we could do that. I think we've discussed that before.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, no.
Thanks for catching me up.
No, don't be sorry, I'm just kind of.
That would be kind of really neat to
Yeah.
put something out, even seasonally, like 3 or 4 times a year.
You get them quarterly, right? I get them all in my inbox and I just auto pay them, but
Yeah.
they're quarterly.
Do auto pay as well.
Yeah.
I get a flyer because I'm old fashioned.
No, but it's only, so it's quarterly. So I mean, those updates, those even having something in there, you know, once or twice a year, or 3 times, because I know other times different departments or commissions utilize that space.
Right.
But when it's not utilized, it's sort of wasted.
That's something we already pay for, or, have that privilege without having a cost
So
directly
here,
to us.
here's a question, do we perhaps want to do that for the shredding day? If it's timely, I don't know, let's say, January, March, I don't know if it's going out before then.
If it will go out before the shred day, I would think that'd be an absolutely pertinent piece of information to include in
I
the
think
shred
we're
day.
probably, let's see, if it's quarterly, then January, February, March, it would go out either in April, May, June, or July, so it would probably not be timely.
No.
Yeah, I could inquire about that. And then also in terms of the shred day, Shannon had reached out to Mark, our communications director, and was looking at trying to get that in the city newsletter, on the city Facebook page, and there was one other avenue that she had on the email. I want to say maybe it was something with the email, maybe, but 3 venues that she was trying to get him to push that out.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have an Instagram?
I think the city has an Instagram. I'm not positive on that, though.
I do not know either.
I am not big on Instagram, so I don't know.
I'm on it. I've just never seen.
Okay, well, that's an easy
Look.
way to be. I think it's a certain age group too. See it more there, or as well. Just thoughts.
One question I wanted to ask is, when you went on the tour for the waste management, did they say, I don't know if they will give this data out or not, is what, how good a job Twinsburg as a district does in sorting?
They did not specifically comment on Twinsburg's. They do have a audit table that they have there where they dump a bin worth of material from people that they collect from, and have somebody that sits there and hand sorts that one bin to make sure that what's the representative sample they're taking of what's coming in is meets the standards of what they're trying to collect. They do not typically use that in communities where they have their own trucks collecting the waste. Because when they have the trucks out, I believe they have a camera in the back of the truck where they're dumping stuff in. The guy operating the truck can kind of see what's being dumped in from the bins. It sounded like they use that more for other providers who are using their facility. So if there's a smaller hauler company that's bringing in material, they typically put that material on the audit to see what those guys are bringing in. But their audit for communities where they're picking up trash is mostly from what the drivers of the trucks are seeing. And did not specifically say anything that the city of Twinsburg in particular needed to work on. Sounded like they're doing pretty well with what they're collecting from us.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to see, do we need to, concentrate on something, some items what people are putting in there or
Yep,
something like that.
yep,
Just-
certainly.
That's all.
And I would hope that if they were seeing a large amount of something that they're not supposed to be getting in there from our city routes, that they would reach out to us and say,
Yeah,
hey,
I
we need
just,
help keeping this out of.
I'm big on that data, where it is and so.
Oh, the most common.
Yeah, maybe do something with this under the Environmental Commission banner. I mean, it's obviously Waste Management's production of the most common contaminants, but maybe we could, you know. 'cause
And I believe it's
a lot of
some-
people are visual. Like, they might think, well, I have an old hose, somebody could probably use it and throw it in the thing. Well, obviously you can't. They can wrap around equipment and shut down an entire facility. You know, there's a lot of things on this paper.
Right.
If you wanna, you can have it if you wanna do.
Very
think we
cool.
can do
Thank
something
you.
with it. Yeah.
And I believe the sewer bills had been used at one point in the past for that kind of information, for showing what to
Well, I
recycle,
think
what
we
not to
could maybe do
recycle.
something more even to get it out in front of people. Because, you know, again, a lot of us are visual. And if we see something that we're throwing in there, maybe it'll, like, I didn't know the pill bottle shouldn't, because I didn't know the size. So see, I learned something new today. So I'm sure a lot of people would, you know, like to go over all that some, you know, visually maybe with pictures, you know.
There is a city Instagram page.
I think I need to follow that tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does not look very popular. The last thing only had 2 likes.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
But
Not
if,
very well.
but if they're followers. maybe we can-
518 followers.
Well, look at that. We can increase it
Yeah,
by
yes, we can.
percentage
How
right
many
now.
followers
Use the
does the
city center.
environmental
Yeah.
commission have?
We could have Jonah
Probably
do a rap
6 or
on there.
7.
Just-
Oh, no. Do we have anything else for this meeting?
Officially.
No.
No.
I'd make a motion that we excuse Virginia and John as our absent members today. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Sue. All those in favor of excusing Virginia and John, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. They are excused. Our next meeting date will be here in City Hall Chambers, September 3rd, 2024 at 7 PM. So we have a couple months, you know, break, so don't show up next month. It is September 3rd, 2024 at 7 PM. And with that, we move on to adjournment. All those in favor of adjourning, you know, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. We are adjourned.